Okay, we are on the hour. We're up to 20 people so far, so I think we can get going. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this session and to the Advertera conference. I hope you're all enjoying it so far and you had a chance to go to the lunch and learn, maybe a couple of the sessions this morning. What we're going to be talking about in this session is, as I'm sure you've seen, the last piece of Endress & Hauser's digital workplace puzzle. So we're going to be learning a little bit from technology consultants Johannes and Stephen about how Endress & Hauser has mastered the digital workplace journey with a focus on launching their new intranet. So I'm going to hand over to Johannes and Stephen in just a moment. We've got some slides to take you through. If you have any questions as Johannes and Stephen are talking, please feel free to put them in the chat. I can read them out for you, or if you're comfortable, once we're finished with the presentation, I can bring you onto screen if you share your video and your audio, and we can just have a conversation face-to-face insofar as that's possible. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Johannes and Stephen.
Yes, thank you, Caroline. Thank you very much from our side. So let's start. Let's share my screen. Oh. Caroline, maybe you can give me a sign. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, that looks great. Thank you.
That looks great. Okay, perfect. Yeah, as already announced, we are from Endress & Hauser, and we want to presentate you today how we managed our intranet launch, the last piece of Endress & Hauser's digital workplace puzzle, components of a successful new intranet launch. I'm Johannes Eichin. I was the project leader of the new intranet project, and I'm also glad to welcome here Stephen Probst, who is my co-worker and our SharePoint admin at Endress & Hauser. So just to give you a short background information concerning the Endress & Hauser group. So yeah, we help our customers to improve their processes. We are in the process automation industry. We are producing measurement devices, for example, for level and pressure measurement or flow measurement for all different industries such as food and beverage, oil and gas, and also further. You can see here we are a family-owned company, and we have around 14,400 people in our entity. We are a multinational company on all our different parts in the world. And the other facts and figures you can see here on the slide as well. So what is our digital workplace about? We want to focus today on the everyone of our digital workplace, so which is actually the intranet. As you can see here on this big picture, we have also other parts like the me, which is actually our personal work, which we need to do in our daily business, such as using Outlook for our daily tasks, email, and so on, to do OneDrive and Delve. So this is all about our O365 environment at Endress & Hauser. And we have also the collaboration area, where we use for sure Microsoft Teams, Office Group, and SharePoint, and all the additional O365 applications. So our journey was to bring the new intranet to our O365 environment by using SharePoint Online and also Microsoft Stream as our video platform. So as you can see here. Then we want to give you a brief overview about our intranet project key facts. So from our 14,400 people, we have around 13,623 users at the moment. We have 105 entities in 57 different countries. And as you can see here, we had also a huge amount of pages to migrate. We did the project with our external partners with a workforce of 20 people in our digital workplace team at Endress & Hauser, and in the intranet work stream especially, we have worked with 15 different workstream members from different locations as well. So why we are unique at Hauser? So what is the success story of our digital workplace journey with regards on the intranet and why we are unique? This is because our digital workplace is not only an intranet, it's a platform with multiple interactions. You will see this later. We did a massive investment in our change management and in communication. And for sure, we have also our own resources to administrate the platform and to consult our stakeholders, such as our different entity with the different stakeholders in the entities, like the internal communications or also the different departments which have their own content in the intranet. And we have a global intranet with multi-language and a content structure by metadata. I think a lot of entities have a global intranet, but have also in addition then local intranet for the language purpose. So at Hauser, we have all in one. And every user can consume the content, and every user can also become an intranet editor. So this is why we are special at this point. Yeah, and how it all began. So at the left side, you can see the welcome page of our former intranet engine, which was based on SAP portal technology. And on the right side, you can see the welcome page of our new intranet, which we call the digital workplace at Hauser. What was our approach to build up the new intranet? So we have chosen the MVP approach to build the new intranet. So we started in 2019 in July with a lot of different interviews and inputs from the entities. And then this all was one package with which we could be able to build this MVP. We did this MVP and had a lot of different feedback cycles, as you can see here, with the focus groups approach. And at the end, we got also additional feedbacks where we showed that this platform to our to additional user groups as well. Then we finalized the system, we trained our editors, migrated the data from September 2020 until the go live at the 1st of February in 2021. For sure, we have additional opportunities after the go live. We want to also here to integrate additional transactions, which we have still in the old system. And for sure, we have also other work streams with the digital workplace project in parallel, such as our toolbox, Microsoft Teams rollout, which we had also together with the go live of the new intranet and our change management initiatives. And and you can see here as well that we considered the feedback of our organizations because we had this user-centered approach to build up the new intranet based on our digital workplace platform. Then I hand over to Stephen, who will introduce us to our targets and the scope of the new intranet.
Yeah, thank you very much, Johannes. So now let us have a closer look at how it all started. So first of all, out of the initial workshops we had, we got a lot of requirements regarding the change awareness and also the culture. So there we had requirements like we want to improve between the exchange between colleagues and also the social networking. We want to improve the transparency within our organization, that everybody can access every kind of content he would like to see. And also we want to provide other requirements like personalized information. And also a very big requirement is that every user can quickly and also easy find their contact person and whatever the like in our new intranet. Then we also had a look on the features which already came with SharePoint and also our framework Powell we used. There we had like the Office 365 platform with all the integrations to other applications, also the responsive design right there. We had immediate content publication which we didn't had with Engine, with our old intranet before. We had the modern news and also the content pages where every editor could build with standard SharePoint Web Parts content. And also we should access our new intranet without the Andreessen network, so we don't have to use a VPN connection to connect to our new intranet. But there are also some missing features that were out of scope or have to be done later, which we had before in our old intranet, for example, the reporting. And maybe we'll come up with other features later on, like the single sign-on on applications or some integrations like the employee self-service or the approval of workflows. Then the next thing, our decision guidelines. Yeah, so we needed decision guidelines so that we can make bigger steps and we avoid detailed discussion on small topics. And first of all, we had to bring up in mind, like what Henry Ford said, if I had asked people what they want, they would have said faster horses. So, and that was for us because we don't want to reinvent our old intranet, our engine. And so we focused on the Microsoft work best practices. And we want a very simple and less complex intranet. And we want to use the standard whenever it's possible, also within SharePoint. That means mostly no custom development, and we want to make 80% happy, the 80-20 rule. So not making 100% happy, because that will never happen and that need too much time. So that's why we were ready for the future and we used standard whenever possible. Then how we build our most valuable product, our MVP, our prototype. So first of all, we had to define the information architecture concept. In this concept, we defined the sitemap. So we had a lot of content before from our old intranet. Then we had to build content containers, and we also have to build the navigation, how we want to access the content and in what kind of containers it's located. Then we also had to define the site profiles, so how the overview pages of these content containers would look like, how we can structure the content with the tagging. Also, we have to define the page templates and content types for the editors when they want to create later on pages. And we have also to define the document management of the document structure in the backend, more or less. And last but not least, of the information architecture, it's also important to define the roles and also permissions set up. So what kind of roles should there be in our intranet, and what kind of permissions do these roles have? Out of that, we got to our results, to our basic configuration metrics. In this metrics, we defined in detail the site profile, how it should look like, the navigation. Also, we defined in detail the term sets and also the terms we use for structuring the content by tagging. Also the toolbar and the few CSS adoptions we wanted to have. As we figured out the whole basic configuration metrics, we then start to design, deploy, and administrate this all on the system. For that, we used the Power Manager, which is a framework, and there we built all the things we configured in our configuration metrics. So like the branding, the navigation, there we coded with CSS or JavaScript code our customization of the design. And we also defined there the templates for the site pages and content types on SharePoint. Then we deployed all these templates to SharePoint. Can you go back, Johannes? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
We deployed all this to SharePoint, where the editors can use the web part, and we additionally use PAL 365, which gives us a lot of new web parts which are not in SharePoint standard. For example, like the filter web part where we can refine for different kind of tags, what really helps us because we have a tag-based structure of our content. So now you can go further. Yeah, so what we achieved then with that, we have now one intranet for the whole Anderson Hauser group. So all 105 entities can now publish content. Previously, it was only 27 on our old intranet. So every user can become an intranet editor by doing a training, and then he can publish content for his entity or for ever what he like, his responsibility. And also we integrated a lot of stuff together in the intranet. For example, like the stream platform, we integrated the team sites, the groups, the office groups, and also our responsive design for mobile app, the social features, and also don't forget the easy content creation for the editors. Yes, and then the highlights of the new intranet. There we have some. So these are also my personal highlights of the intranet. First of all, starting there with the welcome page. The welcome page is very important for us because it's not only for the intranet, the welcome page, it's a welcome page for our whole platform. So there we combine at one glance all different kind of areas like the global news, the CEO channel where he makes some posts, the portfolio news, and also news from team sites and trending videos and so on. Then we have also the intranet area with around 4,000 content pages of employee information, product portfolio or standards, manuals, and guidelines. Then in our intranet combined, we have also the collaboration area where you can access your office groups, where you can access to your teams, the collaboration news, and also planner tasks. And also a highlight is the SharePoint or other SharePoint solutions. There we have custom solutions built on SharePoint and Skybo. Then we go further with the highlights or with my personal highlights. This is, for example, also the global search because now we have a global search which we can use to search through our whole platform. So we can search for people, we can search for documents, and we can search for pages and news, not only in the intranet, also in our collaboration area or in the application area. Then we used also together with the Powell framework, the event calendar, where you can see global events, local events, and also personalize what kind of events you want to see. And also we implemented a marketplace based on the Powell framework, where employees can offer things they don't need anymore for other employees. And the last thing is the global term store. This is also a bit unique on our side because we tried to make a huge global term store where we store all the tags which are relevant for the intranet, but also the rest of the platform, and also to structure content everywhere that everybody can find the content with what they need. And from that on, I would overhand to Johannes again.
Yeah, I think now you are asking yourself, wow, this is amazing what Anderson Hauser did here. So many aspects, so many integrations. This is a digital workplace where almost everything is integrated on one platform, seamlessly integrated. So we have the intranet, we have the collaboration with the team sites integrated also in the intranet, and the SharePoint solutions, which are customized tools, customized processes for the Anderson Hauser group, and everything is integrated in one platform. Or you say, I already know this, we did this since years, but I think it's interesting for you to know how we did this also, how we enabled our people and how we ensure the adoption of our users. So here we have the big picture actually of our training, change management, what you can see here. So if we focus here on the learning, what we did already since 3 years is that we have the collaboration area, and we have defined here special roles. For example, the so-called group manager. The group manager is responsible for the collaboration area within our digital workplace and gets a lot of special training. And after the training, they have to do an assessment. And this group owner assessment is relevant. It's needed to become an intranet editor, because we understand our digital workplace as an interplay of the collaboration and the intranet of information which gets produced and finalized, and then with its final state published within the intranet, and therefore we need it as well. So we have a learning platform. We have a self-directed learning platform where every user can do the trainings whenever they want at any time. And we have automated processes behind, so that, for example, if an intranet editor does the training, he gets automatically the permissions for the system with a link as soon as the assessment has been done successfully. And yeah, this is learning. And we have for sure expert talk where we teach our people in special sessions how to use the tools at the best way, also with sharing of best practices. We have standardized application training for SharePoint. And for sure, we need to communicate this. Therefore, we use our intranet to communicate this to our users. And we have our O365 blog where we inform about regular updates, improvements, and tips and tricks of the platform. And we need to support our people. This is also very important. And therefore, we have our support community. It's a user forum where users help users. And we need to support also the people where they are on the location. And therefore, we have defined these digital workplace roles, so like the intranet editor or the group manager. Yeah, for sure, we have to explain how to use the tools in the best way and how we want the users to use our tools of the Microsoft O365 portfolio. And for sure, very important, we need to have our digital workplace documents and guidelines. And therefore, we have also created a governance book, which describes how to use our collaboration area in the digital workplace as well as the intranet. Yeah, what we achieved here, we optimized the learning and established processes with regards to the intranet editor. So as you can see here, here's the learning platform for the intranet editors, and they can do this here with a self-directed learning, as already mentioned. We supported the intranet editors, especially during the migration phase, and we did an online event as we regularly do it every year. This year, last year, it was an online event. Actually, it is an on-site event in different regions of the world. Where we are on site to teach the people how to use the tools and how to publish the content in the new platform. And we had also weekly intranet editor exchange sessions also to really push our entities in the different regions of the world to use the tool and to publish their content. And beside this, we also had to launch our processes. So for example, we have a special request tag process where the editors can request new tags for the intranet to use them to tag the content. They can also request the quick links, for example, to applications which should be linked in the intranet, which are for one entity, for example, an application to do the leave request or travel request, things like that. And also the request URL registration. Yeah, what are our learnings and recommendations? So for us, it's very important with regards to the learnings that we always focus on our users and intranet editors, to really build a system which they should use and which they want to use and have fun to use it. And it's very important for us also that we have a diversity. So whenever you build up a new intranet, have diversity of the workstream members to get the different objectives from different cultures, for example, to really ensure that everyone is going to change with you, that you have the awareness of the different entities, yeah, to reach your targets. And for us, it was very important to build up our own know-how at the entity to administrate the platform, to further develop the platform, and to have a very good consulting when it comes to the stakeholders, that we can give them appropriate answers to their special requests as well. And O365 so needs a clear governance to ensure a good quality of intranet content and a good quality of collaboration. So this is very important from our sides. Therefore, we have our recommendations. So avoid customizations out of the standard in the cloud. I think we have a framework, what we can do and what we cannot do. And within this framework, we should really implement the things in the standard of Microsoft or of the special add-on. So really important also to check the roadmaps of Microsoft continuously. Just one example from our side, we wanted to use the Microsoft Classic multilingual function, and then Microsoft just launched the new multi-language feature of SharePoint, and then we decided, yes, let's do it. Let's keep on track with a new solution of Microsoft to avoid one other extra migration of the content in the future. And we did it, and it's working really well from our side. Make noise and repeat initiatives to ensure that your users really adapt the things, use the platform, and use different channels to communicate. So use newsletters, use a blog, and also use online formats to really give an offer to your users so that they can understand what you are bringing. And adopt the changes, communicate it to the users in a digestible way. So cut it into pieces that the users can digest all the changes. And for us, the social roles, so the intranet editor or a digital workplace manager or group manager is very important for every entity. So it's our contact person, and we really need these social roles on site to really promote the new platform, to promote the new way of working within entities. So what's next? So we want to integrate our intranet into Teams, as a Teams app. We want to optimize our search, and we have to optimize the search, because what we are recognized now, we have one digital workplace with collaboration content, intranet content, and everything is transparent, everything is visible, for which the users have the permissions. And now we have to better differentiate, okay, what is really final information from the intranet and what is work in progress information from the collaboration area. And we want to integrate our workflows, which we have still on the old intranet, into the new world. And we have to really evaluate, okay, what makes sense and what not. Maybe it's not an integration in the new intranet, maybe it's one in Teams. So let's see what the future brings to us. So this is the end. I hope we encouraged you, that you can adapt things like we did it, and maybe we can also learn from you. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Johannes and Stephen. That was a fantastic presentation. Like, you really took us on the journey of your intranet endeavor right from day one through to today. We've had loads of questions come in through the chat, so that just goes to show what an interesting presentation it was. So Mareike, Nicholas, Rashmi, Simon, if you want to come on camera and come off mute and ask a question directly to Johannes and Stephen, if you just request to come on camera, I'll be able to grant you that access. If you prefer not to, no pressure, I'm happy to read your questions out for you. While you decide which way you want to go, just a really quick question from me for you guys. That was a really detailed journey. How long has it been from the start up to this point?
So actually, our journey of the digital workplace at Andreessen Hauser started in 2016 with the decision to implement O365.
Yeah.
We wanted to start to bring the new intranet already in 2019. But we had some restrictions with regards to the multi-language feature in SharePoint. So we waited because there was something announced, and we waited, and then we decided to do it in 2021. This project has been started actually in July 2019.
Yeah, it's quite reassuring to hear actually that it isn't it's not a 6-month project, it's not a 1-year project, it's something which really needs to be built on over time. So I feel like often you get those mismanaged expectations up at leadership level, with them believing, oh yeah, you'll get this done within the year, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's not so easy to get also rid of the old stuff, which is our old intranet, because we have a lot of these integrations, and we need to find solutions for it. Yeah,
absolutely. Right, I'm gonna start with the first questions from our audience. Again, if you do want to come on camera and ask your questions yourselves, feel free to request to come on camera. I'll allow you, and then you'll come on stage. But I'm going to start with Nicholas's first question, which starts, nice to see that at this point in time, there's a massive amount of investment in change management as part of your project. How did you quantify that? And like in terms of the overall project cost, what sort of percentage did change management make up?
Change management. I'm not really quite sure, but I think the change management part is about 30 to 40% of the all over project cost, because we had a massive investment in our so-called O365 knowledge base, which is actually the platform where we have the training and the support community and the blog and everything like this. And this already started with a rollout of the first phase of our digital workplace in 2018.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing to see, as Nicholas says, in today's climate. Has as COVID over the past year, has that had any impact on the investment in change management?
Actually, you can compare it with your marketing, what you are investing in marketing in an entity. So, and that's our change management.
Yeah. Right, fantastic. I have a question here from Marika, which is, do you have any employees at Andreessen Hauser who aren't working on a PC, laptop, desktop, whatever? And if so, how are they able to access the intranet?
Yeah, so surprisingly, we don't have that much people which are not having a device from Andreessen Hauser. But for these people, often working or blue-collar workers, we planned that we would also make it possible for the private access in the next few months or up to autumn of this year, that they can access our digital workplace via the private devices also, that they get informed, get all the news, and get all the stuff they need. That's our target. But at the moment, they don't have access. But they also didn't have access to the old intranet, so it makes no big change for them right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned that with the new intranet, you don't have to access it through a VPN. Was that with a view to the next step, making it available on personal devices?
Yes, for sure.
Johannes?
Yeah, for sure. This is one of the preconditions. I just want to add here something. VPN for the intranet is good. For sure, we have also other linked third-party or third-party application which you can access from the intranet, and these are not on a cloud solution at the moment, and you still need VPN for this. I think is also some of our challenges, but we need to solve it in the future. Steven, I think you had something to add.
No, that's just so previously we had VPN and all the integrations were working fine, and now we don't need a VPN anymore. That's good on one hand, and also good for the private devices, but with the integrations, we have to look how we will get them also to the cloud.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a question of mine. You mentioned in the presentation that your next steps are going to be looking at integrations, and there are a number of integrations which you want to look at, including in the new intranet. How are you going to prioritize those?
Actually, we have to prioritize based on the impacts for our users. So especially we are focusing on things like a leave request or travel request solution. And we are already replacing this in parallel because we have a project. So we are moving to SAP SuccessFactors. And this will go into the cloud. And as soon as this has been rolled out, yeah, we will be also use the new templates integrations from this platform and link to it. And then we don't need, yeah, the VPN for these use cases anymore.
Fantastic, thank you. The next question we've got is from Nicholas, and that is, how happy are you with Powell Manager, and is it really something you needed on top of SharePoint?
Oh, okay, that's a very good question, Nicholas. So the Powell Manager, yeah, it consists out of two things. So we use Powell Manager and we also use Powell 365. So the Powell Manager is, yeah, it's a help for some guys like me, like SharePoint admins, who really need to create site collection, to create templates, design, customize things, yeah, the design of the whole platform. For these kind of people, the Power Manager really makes it easy. Yeah, makes it a lot of easier to create things in SharePoint. With Power 365, there we also yeah, get additional value for the users because we have a lot of web parts, we have a lot of additional features, navigation, toolbar, which we can use. So is it needed on top of SharePoint? If you have the requirements or if you need to fulfill requirements like we had, for example, to refine for text, to have a refinement panel, then I would say, yes, you need something like that. But when you can also yeah, build an intranet with the standard SharePoint web parts and you don't have the need for anything like that, then you also can get along without it.
Great, thank you. Anything to add, Johannes?
Yeah, no, I think Steven said most of the things which yeah, what we can see, and then it's not something contra Paul, it's just how Microsoft is developing SharePoint. So we see that Microsoft is doing a lot there in this direction and implementing also things like additional toolbar or site navigation. And yes, at one point you have to ask yourself, okay, where it does make sense and where not. And if the overall package is says, okay, yes, we really need Paul, then you need it. And from the yeah, administrator perspective, it really makes sense from our perspective, yeah, to ensure one consistent management of the platform.
That makes sense. Yeah, thank you. The next question takes us back to around about the beginning of your journey. The question is from Marika, and that is, how did you decide which tool best fit your requirements?
So actually, I was not in the project at this part, though this happened in 2016, as I said. So we really had the focus of our simple business IT to really reduce our tool landscape, to reduce our administrative efforts, license costs, and things like that. And there was a decision together, I think it was evaluated with PwC, yeah, that SharePoint or O365 in common is the best fit for Endres and Hauser. Yeah, and then at a later stage, when it came to the implementation of the collaboration part of the platform, we decided also to use the Powell add-on with regards also to the intranet because we saw that we will need this feature as well. Yeah.
So sticking on the topic of Office 365, Nicholas has asked, I can see the Office 365 group request. Do your users understand what an Office 365 group is? Do they need to go through that to create a Teams, for instance?
That's also a very good question. Also a good eye for detail right there. And yes, the people have to request Office 365 groups, and they also need to know what a Office group is. That's in our case because first of all we had team sites. So not communication sites for the intranet. We also had previously, since I don't know, 2 or 3 years, team sites where people could build their workspaces, share documents, also work with externals and so on, create pages and news. And out of that, we developed the groups. So we said to them, okay, you don't have workspaces or team sites anymore. You now have Office 365 groups. And if you want, you can additionally enhance them with teams. And that's also a very big step because a lot of other companies do have an approach the other way around. They say, yeah, you can create a new team, and with the team, an Office group comes. In our case, we say you have an Office group, and you can get also teams for the Office group. That's very important because, in my opinion, often you want to share or work on documents where you don't need a team. And that's why it makes no sense. You have 1,000 teams in your team client, and the most of them you are using only to exchange documents or to work on documents. For that, you should only have groups and additionally request a team then for these groups where you need it.
Yeah, just one thing to add, we're really taking care of governance and how to use the tools in the right way. And therefore, we also have implemented a provisioning wizard for these groups where the user has to fill out several different fields, also with a target cross for the group, that the people really think about why I really need this group and what is the target of these groups, to avoid that there are popping up groups and we don't know where to find what. And yeah, this is really important in our point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want it to get unwieldy. So sticking on the topic of Office 365 and SharePoint, Mareike has said, I worked for 6 years with Microsoft SharePoint, and many of our editors were not very happy with the usability. So have you found that, and how have you managed it?
Yeah, so this is actually how we also started. So we had no legacy SharePoint on-premise. So we started with a modern SharePoint, so SharePoint Online, and also with the modern pages in the intranet. So we clearly said we want to use these modern pages with the modern possibilities, also with regards to all these different web parts which we have. And we really broke it down into different pieces. And the good thing is, from the editor perspective, the users already learned how to work with SharePoint since the implementation of our collaboration part. And as I said, the group owner, group manager training is the precondition to do the editor training. So an editor is not an editor without knowledge. So an editor should already have the knowledge from the collaboration side to also differentiate which content needs to be in the collaboration area in the intranet. And then they have also the skills with regards to SharePoint, how to use it. And for sure, we have to push our editors. We have to do expert talks. We have to share best practices and how-to videos to really engage them to use the platform in the best way. And yeah, but it's really good. It really works very good, and we are happy.
Yeah, I can also only add that the on-premise what Mareike talked about is maybe on classic. We now use modern. That's also a bit different for the editors, and they're really having fun with you see what you get editor, because they didn't have it before. They have to create the pages on the back. So from that perspective, our editors are now very happy. The only thing is the performance, but that's normal when we have a framework like SharePoint together also with all the team sites and collaboration aspect. You have to decide. It's a bit slower, but you have all in one place, and you can access all the other documents also from collaboration, and it's all in one system, and that's a big achievement also, which is then okay, I would say.
Fantastic, thank you. So next, Rashmi has asked, now that you've achieved a great intranet, you've achieved great adoption of your new intranet, what's your strategy for sustaining heavy usage of it?
Yeah, our strategy is really to keep the users up to date. Yeah, I think it's important to always update our training material when Microsoft brings in some changes. So training material needs to be up to date. The users need to be informed about the updates, and we have to focus on this expert talks also to explain the things on a demo for the users which are interested in the tools. And we have also our social roles, which are helping us to promote and to push the usage of the platform. So we have, for example, an additional social role. It's called our SharePoint Solution Manager. And the Solution Manager is really looking on business cases, business use cases, and to there consult this group owner to really bring in their processes and their content into the collaboration area. And they also work very closely together in a network with the intranet editors. So it's all about building a network and exchange and show best practices.
And to your point about your army of intranet editors, Simon has asked, it sounds like you've pushed the number of intranet editors a lot further than many other companies. What are the best things you've learned from your new editors?
Yeah, I think we really had the need over the last years because Andreessen Hauser has also bought a lot of new entities and which were not able to publish the content because it was a very difficult rollout process for the old intranet, and now it's very easy to become an editor. And we got a lot of feedback from our new entities which are able to publish now, and they're really heavily using it. And what we have to do, we have to show them, okay, look here, this entity is using the intranet for different kind of content. You can use it as well, like this. Here's the template, use it, bring in your information. And I really have to push them from the business side, which I'm responsible for. Yeah, and they really enjoy it. It's easy to use, and this is the key.
Yeah, I also was very surprised by a lot of editors because now everyone can get an editor. Also, people who are very exciting in creating pages or creating news, they become intranet editors, which are not usually from the communication department. And it's very exciting to see how creative these people are also, and how what kind of things they are building there, and what kind of things they are think in a different way and structuring it and showing to our Andreessen Hauser world. That's very, very nice.
Yeah, amazing. Now I can imagine that there's a certain air of competitiveness amongst intranet editors who can be the most creative. I want to. Sorry, go on.
Also that kind of competition in a funny way, that would be also very nice. I also talked with Johannes about an award maybe for the nicest pages we have at the end of the month to push a bit this creative kind of sense.
Yeah, I love that. Do it.
We will do it for sure.
I'd definitely take part if I was at Andreessen Hauser. So I want to make sure that everyone's got time to have a comfort break, grab a cup of coffee before we go into our next session, which starts at the top of the hour. So I'm just going to ask one more question, and then we'll close the session. So the last question is going to be from Lena, and that is, how many colleagues were involved in your core project team, and which departments were involved?
So our core project team actually consists of our digital workplace department. So there we have about 20 people. So in this department, we have the responsibles for the collaboration area, for the intranet, for the communication part, which is actually Outlook and the communication side of Teams. And we have also responsible for change management, communication, and implementation. And this is our core team. And also one colleague, she's responsible for our support community. She's from India, but working from India for our IT as well. And this works very good.
Amazing, amazing. It's all about the people behind the screen. Right. Well, thank you again so much, Johannes and Stephen. Your presentation was fantastic. I think it's safe to say it's inspired everyone. So much so, I think we could have carried on the Q&A for another half an hour. But like I say, we've got another session starting shortly. I want everyone to have a chance to go grab a cup of coffee. Just before we go, just a quick reminder that we've got a few more sessions through the afternoon today. And then to close off the day at 6 p.m. Central European time, we have a percussion session with a famous percussionist. You can bring your family, bring your friends, share the link with colleagues. We're going to come together and we're going to have a virtual drum circle. So get it in your calendars.
That's so nice.
Central European. All right. Thank you so much again, Stephen and Johannes. That was amazing. Thank you everyone for being here and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us the stage. Yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.